Hey guys, welcome to Hammerpaints. I'm just sitting back. I've just finished today airbrushing a couple of Marta 2 tanks for my Falchion platoon. So I'm just starting to come back through and colour the road wheels, colour the tracks, tools, bits and pieces. But as for them, put them aside. There was a guy on YouTube that sent me a message that has been looking at a few of my videos. Thank you very much. Called scaramouche1963. Dude, I apologise if that's not how you pronounce your name, but you basically sent me a message on what brushes I use and what size. So I thought I'd do a quick vid just on some brushes and sizes that I use for different things. So this one's for you, buddy. Number one, I primarily use pure red sable, which I do believe comes from a fox. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is an animal hair. The reason I use them, they're a nice soft bristle. They hold paint well. They're very smooth. I'm not a big fan of synthetics. I've got a synthetic here, which is a number 2 Roymac. It's a base coating brush of mine. It's okay. It's probably one of the first sort of synthetics I've come across that I haven't really been unhappy with. Like it's okay, but normally I use a French fill. Let's get this to focus. Normally I use a French fill, pure red sable, number 1. So that's the sort of what the bristles look like there. So I've put it up against me pointer finger. You can see it's got quite a nice fine point, but yet it's still bulky enough to hold a good amount of paint. I believe these are the best. They just such a smooth brush, gives you nice fine line work. So yeah, that's pretty much what I use for my base coating. As for my super fine detail, I go right down to a 000. Once again, a French fill, pure red sable. Again, it's quite a fine tip on this one. So this is the one I use to do the hair marks on my Falchion. It's one of my old favourites, that brush. I believe if you look after your brushes, you get a good amount of time out of them. If you don't look after them, then yeah, it's like anything. It's not going to last for you. Once again, this one here is 00, so it's for slightly bigger tip. Just ever so slightly. Still quite a nice fine point. So you can still do some fine detail with it, but it's just a little bit thicker, and it holds just that fraction more paint. So then I use just this is one of my dry brushes. This is just a 1/4. I've had this for such a long time. This brush just cannot bear to part with it. It's once again, it's a pure sable. This one here is a privateer press paintbrush. It was absolutely fucking shit, but in saying that, it makes for a terrific dry brush. And not so much this one as a dry brush. I've got another one that's exactly the same, but I use it for a dry brush. But this one makes for a good wash brush for applying washes and stuff like that. And you can see like the tips they just crap out. I'm not too sure if that was a sable one or a synthetic. Can't tell you on that one. And then just a range. This one here is my 10-0. This is for absolutely minute work. When I do my SS, this is the brush I use to apply the SS into the hair mark, like the hair mark that we did on the helmets in the How to Paint Felshem. I put 2 S's into that size hair mark badge with this brush here. I used to use it for writing scripts for Space Marines and stuff like that, like their purity seals and all that sort of jazz. So I don't pull it out much, but yeah, so that's pretty much the brushes I use. But as for the main brushes I use, mate, pretty much just these couple here. Pretty much just these 3. A number 1 for base coating, a 000 French fill for some fine. Well, I use a 00 for it's a Neff for fine work, and then when we go right down, I use a 000 French fill. When these brushes fuck out, as they do, it does happen. It will happen. Basically, I just go and replace them with the same brush, because once you find a good brush, you sort of don't change the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So yeah, well, that's it, guys. Just a quick vid. Keep watching, more to come.